Insights, practical truths for successful living with Carl Summer.
I wrote the story of the ugly princess because of the many social pressures girls face in our society to look a certain way. There's nothing wrong to want to be concerned about our appearance, but the artificial pressure that is so prevalent today can greatly harm our children. The pressures from social media can greatly affect a girl's physical and psychological health. When girls begin to mature, society places pressures concerning their body and weight. The bombardment from celebrities, such as actresses, musicians, and models, can have a tremendous effect on our children. It is important for parents to counter the unrealistic expectation what society is putting on these girls. The story begins with Isabella as a very happy girl who was loved by her parents, the king and the queen. She loved school and had lots of fun playing with her friends. But one day, everything changed. Isabella happened to hear one girl say, "Did you notice how big Isabella's nose and ears are?" Isabella stopped. The other girl laughed and said, "They are sure funny looking." It was devastating to Isabella. She rushed to the restroom, looked in the mirror, and began to cry. "It is true. Not only are my ears and nose big, they're ugly." There's an old saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never harm me." It's not true. Words can have a powerful and a devastating effect upon us. It sure did on Isabella. When Isabella came home, Mom probed her and found out why she was so sad. Then Mom gave her a big hug and with tears in her eyes said, "Dad and I love you just as you are. You are our precious sweetheart." Then Mom put her loving hands on Isabella's face and said, "If you want to find true happiness, focus on your inner beauty, not your outer beauty." But Isabella didn't listen. When her father, the king, heard the news, he tried to help his beloved daughter. Then he said these insightful words, "If you always listen to what other people say, you will live a very unhappy life. You have 2 ears. Some things you hear should pass through your ears, and some things should go into your heart." But again, Isabella refused to listen. She became a very miserable girl. Her friends' voices were more influential than her parents. My wife and I have 5 children and 19 years of teenage experience. 4 of my children now are 50 years and older. 3 of them work for me. I wish I had these character building books that would have helped my children in some of the things that I try to teach them. That's why I've written 42 summertime stories and produced videos to be another voice to help you as parents to teach your children how to become successful. You can hide behind the story and bring up topics that will foster communication so you can discuss topics to help your children. Isabella's father was very much concerned about her being so miserable. One day he suggested to her, "I want you to study people to find out what makes them happy. Can you do this for me?" "I will do that," said Isabella. The next week there was a feast, and Isabella said to herself, "I'm going to look for someone who is very happy." Isabella happened to find an old woman laughing in the middle of a happy group of children. And the woman's nose and ears were much bigger than hers. Isabella went to the woman, and the woman told her what she had learned. "You cannot change the way you were born, so be wise and be content with what you cannot change. Instead, focus on loving others instead of yourself. If you do this, you'll find great happiness." Isabella this time listened. That night she thought of what she could do. She got an idea. She went to her father and said, "I would like to invite the children with special needs to come to the palace. I want to make them happy." The king was shocked. "This is wonderful," he exclaimed. We will get whatever you need. When the day came, children with special needs played all sorts of games, and Isabella played with them. During the party, Isabella hugged her father and said, "This is the happiest day in my life, seeing these children playing and having so much fun. It is really true. Loving others brings happiness." Parents, I encourage you, try to do this with your family. Make it a family project to love others. Invite people with needs or those who are usually not invited to your home. Take them out to eat or do something special. One day the king said, "Isabella, you know that the one you marry will one day become the next king. How can we help you find the right man?" "How someone looks is unimportant to me," she said. "I want to marry a wise and kind man. I have an idea on how to find such a man." Then Isabella whispered her idea to the king. The king ordered 7 advisors, "Search for the wisest and kindest young man in each of your districts." Isabella hoped that one of them would light a spark in her life. Stephen did, and he was approved by Isabella's parents. When Stephen was approved, he said, "Let's try each day to do a kind deed for someone." How important it is for children to get approval from their parents when it's time for them to date. I was always concerned about this. Their entire future can be destroyed for making unwise dating and marriage choices. Fortunately, Stephen was a gem. Stephen and Isabella had a very happy life together. The people in their kingdom also prospered because of their wise and kind leadership.